The family of one of the 9 soldiers who died on duty in the DRC is struggling to accept his death. Calvin Moagi's family in Moraraleng at Sekororo in Limpopo say they had high hopes for the 28-year-old. Moagi died on Thursday during an attack by M23 rebels who attempted to advance into the city of Goma. SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi is with the family for us. A very good afternoon to you, Pimani. It's over to you.
Good afternoon, Nompumelelo, and good afternoon to our viewers. It's devastation here at the Moagi family in Sekororo, as you rightfully stated, Nompu. This family received the news that their son was one of those 9 soldiers who had perished in the Democratic Republic of Congo on Friday. They were told that he passed on Thursday during that fighting. But I'm joined by the family just to get a sense of how they're feeling. I'm joined by his uncle, Mr. Moagi. Thank you so much for your time. First of all, condolences to you and your family. I'm sure the family is devastated.
Yes, it's truly. As a family, we are highly devastated to hear the news that our son has passed on in the war.
How did you hear this news, and when was the last time? I understand the family was always in constant communication with Mr. Moagi. How did you find out that Louis had passed on, and when did you last speak to him?
Firstly, we heard the news that the war in DRC is intensified, so we are worried. During the week, we spoke to him just to greet him, and then he responded. But as on Saturday, we started to get worried when we sent some WhatsApp, and then he could not respond. And then from there, late Saturday, between 7 and 8 in the evening, I received a call from Moruti Makate, calling from this family, in the family, calling us to come here as a family. Then when we came here, we find him here. Then we did make some short prayers.
I'm sure Moruti Makate is from the Defense Force.
Yes, Moruti Makate is from Defense Force at Taba in Hoedspruit. Yes. And then he broke the news to us that your nephew has passed on during the war. He was been killed. So we were so devastated. Even now, we cannot cope up to hear the news.
I know, but Louis joined the SANDF in 2018, and this was not his first deployment. Let's talk about his career in the SANDF and how you felt, because it was not his first deployment when he came back the first time, and now when you left, hoping probably that he would also come back.
Yes, we hope. He has been deployed to Mozambique in 2022 to 2023. And then from there, we have communicated with him. There was no problem until he came back. And then last year, at the end of February, he left us and then back to the Zirast, where now he has been deployed to the DRC. And now we had this bad news. We have been communicating with him. There was no problem.
He was just 28-year-old, and you described him as a dedicated young man. I'm sure the family had high hopes for him. Just take us through, what kind of a person was he?
He was a very dedicated person, hard worker, friendly, a peace-loving person. And then always we enjoy to be around him. And then from there, we know that as he chose to be a soldier in the South African National Defence Force, we know that he wanted to change the lives in the country, and then in the DRC, we thought he's going to do the same, but unfortunately, he met his death.
Other families whose loved ones are still fighting in this war, what would be your message to them? But also the families who've also lost their loved ones like you, what's your message of comfort?
We are so sorry to hear that he was not alone, and sorry for the families that also their children has passed on. And then we also, I'm saying, let's pray for those people who are in the DRC, give them support through the prayer, especially that South Africa has now taken the troops in the country. It's difficult now because we heard the news that things are not going well. But we hopefully think there will be no such death again.
I understand But Louis was the breadwinner. He leaves behind his mother, a daughter, and siblings. Take us through about the role that he played as the breadwinner in this household.
Louis Calvin Moagi was a breadwinner in the family. As my brother, his grandfather has passed on. And then he was the one who was responsible in buying food, doing development, even outside, as you can see. There's so much, a lot of developments that he has been erected outside. And then for now, it's quite really clear that we are going to pull, the family will pull very much hard, especially that the younger sister also indicated that he was supposed to go to the university, and Louis was one of the person who was ready to help.
Thank you so much. That's Mr. Moagi speaking about the devastation that this family is going through after the death of their loved one who was on deployment in the DRC, speaking about how he was a community builder. He was the firstborn son in this household, and he has two younger siblings, one of whom, as the uncle was stating, is supposed to go to university this year and was hoping for her brother to assist in that regard. Nompo?
Thanks very much, my colleague there, Pimani Baloyi, telling us that sad story of that family that's lost a loved one in the DRC.